Hey guys, so I was actually watching Markiplier play Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, and I was checking my Nick Cicado video that I just did, and I brought up Eugenia Cooney. So I'm like, you know what? I haven't really looked at her in a while. Let's see if she's improving and getting better. And what do you know? She still essentially looks like a walking corpse. So in the video I just did about Nick Cicado, I said that there are people who look to him and see his lifestyle and think, oh man, I'm going to do the same thing. And I've said that someone has reached out to me when I first, like my first video I did about her. They reached out and said they used to watch her when they were a teenager, and they saw this and they thought, this is a great lifestyle. I'm going to try to do the same thing. And so they were making themselves sick. And after a while, they realized that's not the lifestyle they wanted because they felt like shit all the time. So for those people online who say, oh, no one's going to watch these videos and choose to live this lifestyle and blah, blah, blah. No, there are people who live this lifestyle. And that means there are people who will watch it, usually young, impressionable people who will look at this and think this is healthy, and they will try to imitate that. It doesn't seem to be as bad as, say, this, where you can full on see your rib cage. But it's not like this. Look at this. You can see each and every individual rib. Honey, please get help. We all support you. This comment section is gross. Your comments make things worse, not better. It's counterproductive attacking someone with a mental illness. In fact, would you bully anyone else with a mental illness? That's wrong. Well, the fact is, she's gone to get help, and nothing came of it because she obviously didn't stick to what the doctors had said. Her mom doesn't seem to be, because I believe she still lives with her mom. Her mom doesn't make her do it. But the ribs, look at that. You can see each and every individual rib. This is not a lifestyle that people should be looking up to, and yet, just like Nick Cicado, people look at this and see all the attention she gets. I don't know, maybe it might be people who feel bad about themselves, who want the attention. Maybe it's, one of those siblings that feel like, oh, everyone else gets the attention but me. I don't know what makes them do it. All I know is that there are people who will look at her and say, oh my God, that's beautiful. I want to look just like that. And it's not healthy. Do you know how much weight you have to lose to essentially look like a walking corpse? You look at her, there's essentially nothing left. You can see the bones and the joints and the sockets, and it's not healthy. There are people who say that, all this weight that she's losing, they're surprised she still even has her hair. I mean, I've said this before, she pulled on her hair to show that it's real, because people are like, oh yeah, your hair is fake. Because anyone who's that thin aren't getting the nutrients to, sustain anything. But she went on to show that her hair was real. So the fact that her hair is still her hair is baffling, because her hair should have fallen out by this point with the lack of nutrition that she's getting. But I had to talk about her to show that there's two sides of the spectrum here. You have the Nick Cicado avocados of the world who overly indulge themselves. There's nothing wrong with indulging. Don't get me wrong. I love to indulge once in a while. because I don't get to do it very often. So if, say, me and my friend go out of town, we'll go to like a Chinese buffet and I'll indulge because I don't get to do it. I mean, the last time I went to a buffet was maybe a year or two ago. Like I showed you in the last video, this is essentially what I'm eating now. Bread. Peanut butter sandwiches twice a day. So if I get to indulge, I take that opportunity because I don't get to eat very much because I just don't have the funds to do so. So you have people like Nikocado Avocado who overindulge. You see him with his friend who looks like she weighs about 600 pounds. They overindulge. Not only do they overindulge, they don't do anything about it. You have Amberlynn Reed, same thing. She's always saying, "Oh, I'm going on a diet. I'm going on a diet," but then she's like eating. It's like, "Oh, the diet's just not working out." So you have that side of the spectrum that overdoes it, and then you have this side of the spectrum that is losing more weight than they should. A woman who a light breeze comes by and they can just, they just flop in the breeze. I mean, a hard enough breeze comes along, you could freaking snap her bones. I mean, look at what happened with Nikocado. Putting on so much weight ended up like fracturing ribs. A hard enough breeze comes along and then she could fracture her whole body. I mean, the likeliness of that happening is very low, but you know what I'm saying. When you're that thin, you're super brittle. The human skeleton is incredibly strong, but the amount of pressure, it's so crazy because we do all these amazing things during the day. You see all these power lifters, but then you see how much force it takes to actually break a bone, and you realize it's really not that much. How we can really just bite our own fingers off if we really wanted to, but our body pretty much prevents that from happening. That's how much force we can exert to go through bone and all that. We could bite off our own fingers. So the fact that we see people like powerlifters doing these extraordinary feats of strength, but then our bones are so, they're so brittle in comparison. Obviously you get older and they get even more brittle. A good diet helps your bones stay strong. But someone who is like Eugenia, who doesn't seem to have much of a diet of anything, and possible of whatever she eats, she just, you can only imagine how brittle her bones are, or possibly getting. I imagine she doesn't do a whole lot of exertion. You probably won't see her running around or heavy lifting or anything like that because her body just wouldn't be capable of it. I'm sure if she tried, fracture would definitely happen. She tried to lift them, boom, her arm freaking snaps like a fucking twig. But this is the other side of that spectrum. And just like Nikocado, where people look up to him, people look up to her. And she's been on YouTube for quite some time. She's been on the internet for quite some time. And that entire time she's been on the internet, you have young girls, or just young people in general, who look up to her and think this is how they want to look. That this is some way of life. But yeah, it's, people will look at this and think this is it. And some of the people are, I physically gasp. This makes me so sad. This person says, she knows she has a problem. She just doesn't care. She doesn't want to change. She can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. And people have said that to me, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying. I hope she can see how much everyone cares about her well-being. And it's true. she doesn't want to. And I've said this before, if you look at her photos, very seldom will you see an up close picture of her, or her video, her videos, her pictures here. Very seldom do you see something like this. For the most part, it's something like this. If you notice, all her pictures for the most part are these outer pictures where you can see her whole body. Her videos, a lot of her videos consist of try-ons. Why? Because you can see her whole body. She wants the attention. Despite the fact that it's negative attention half the time, just like in Nikocato's comments, they say, why are you doing this to yourself? You need help. Stop this and get some help. That's still attention for her. At this point, she doesn't care. She's gone to get help. She took how many months off for the help? But now she's right back doing what she was doing before. Not too long ago, it looked like she was. Let me find one of the pictures. Because one of these pictures, I can't remember which one it was, where she genuinely looked a lot better. But you can see that she's just like here. Even though she's thin, she still has more definition on her arm and muscle and all that compared to what she has now. There was one. Let me see if I can find it still. Yeah, even something like this. Look how much healthier she looks right here. She looks so much healthier right here. Her bones aren't protruding out. You've got the collarbone, but for some people, that collarbone is just a very, the collarbone is pretty weird how it is. Some people it protrudes out. Some people, even with fat people, I've seen some fat people with protruding collarbones. But you can see there's a faint shadow of, right there of her ribs. But you can't see each and every individual rib. She looked so much better right then. There was another one I saw of, I think, an older picture. Wait, oh yeah, that's right. Where is it? Yeah, when she did the cosplay of Kyrie. Look at her arm here. Now hold up your arm. You see how your arm has like this, your forearm, when you hold it to the side, it kind of has like this dip in it. But it just looks like two sticks. Just like two, like that, because there's no muscle, there's hardly any muscle, it's just bone. Really, you see a little curve right there, and that's about it. Because no matter how thin she is, no matter how thin you get, you're always going to have some kind of muscle, because obviously your muscles, are what help everything move. If you had no muscle, you wouldn't be moving. You would just be a fucking skeleton, and you'd just be like all fucking day. So she's always going to have a little bit of muscle. But even here, look. You see her neck and arms and all that just in that picture. And then the other one I showed of her where she looked decent. Look at the change. She obviously, this was 95 weeks ago. But then we go right back, and then you just see it progress all the way to this point again, where you can see individual ribs. It's like I've said, I know people like this probably won't be changing anytime soon, but it's the same thing with Nikocado. It'd be a real shame, especially for how long people have seen her on the internet, or how long she's been around. It would be a real shame to see her, in an article, Eugenia Cooney dead at this age because of malnutrition. Your heart can stop for being too heavy, and your heart can stop for not getting enough nutrients to keep it pumping. Or your brain can shut down from not enough nutrients. It's like when you starve and dehydrate yourself, your brain's not getting those nutrients that it needs to continue functioning. So it'd be a real shame for her to pass due to malnutrition. But as people have said, she doesn't care. The attention is attention. She doesn't care if it's negative attention. She doesn't care if it's positive attention. But she also doesn't seem to know that, well, she does, I'm sure she does know, but people will look at her, young girls who may feel alone or feel like they don't fit in, and they look at her and like, oh my god, everyone loves her, she gets so many positive comments and, you know, all these views on YouTube and, you know, Instagram and this and that, I want to be just like her. And then they're going to try to follow that lifestyle. And don't say it won't happen, because as I said in the Nikocado one, we have a generation of people who started eating laundry detergent for fame. So if people are willing to eat laundry detergent for fame, I'm pretty sure they'll look at this and see this as a lifestyle that they want to do. So it's extremely dangerous. Both sides of that spectrum, the side of Nikocado Avocado and the side of Eugenia Cooney, both sides are extremely dangerous. And like I said, I didn't want to talk about Nikocado today without bringing up her, because after him, I was just thinking about, I'm like, wait a minute, you know, I brought up Eugenia and I haven't seen anything much about her in a while. Let me go over to her YouTube and, you know, and her Instagram. And yeah, I'm just seeing more of essentially what we've come to know. Seeing the individual ribs, the just looking generally very unhealthy. And it's a shame. She's got a gorgeous face. Like, if you see her even without makeup, she's very pretty. And it's a shame that she's doing this to herself. I mean, if you go to her, you know, come here onto her Instagram and, you know, keep just scrolling, there are plenty of pictures with her with no makeup on. She's very pretty. So to see someone who could have so much, maybe even more, sacrifice that for this, it's troubling and it's sad. And she could have so much more. She could have such a better life. It's like the people who, it's just like Nikocado. She would gain more subscribers and keep the ones she has if she was to say, you know what, I'm done with this lifestyle. I'm tired of feeling sick all the time. I'm going to take a healthy journey, and I want you all to come along with me. I'm going to, you know, work out, build up some muscle. I'm going to start eating right and not force myself to throw it up. You know, and I'm going to do this, and I want you all to be there. And, you know, I'm going to come to you guys for support, you know, and if I'm feeling troubled, like I can't do it, I'm going to come to you guys and you can help me through it, and we're going to get through it together. For all you people who might be going through the same thing, you're not alone. We can do this together. And more people would follow her for that. Instead of comments like, this is bad, real bad. I only come to her posts for the comments, to be honest. What the fuck? You know, a nightmare before Christmas. You know, you have so many people coming here and leaving the negative comments, but she doesn't care because it's attention. But if she just went on that journey to help herself, stop listening to the people who truly don't care about her, and actually took the help, she could change her entire life, feel so much better, and get to keep everything she already has, and then some. Because most people, after a while, they're, you know, all these young kids who are following her now, they're not going to stick around once they get old enough and realize that this woman is essentially killing herself. They're going to see, it's like, wait a minute, this isn't right. Look what she's doing to herself. This isn't cool. I can't believe I actually followed this person. All these young girls are, hopefully when they get older, same thing. It's like, oh yeah, I tried to, you know, live like her, and I just found it made me miserable. I felt bad all the time. So she'd have so much more success if she just got the help than she would right now, because most of the attention she gets is negative attention. How many followers? 704,000 followers. And if you go into her comments, a lot of the comments are negative. Well, not, I shouldn't say negative, which she would consider negative. Most of them are, you need help. You need to stop this. Go eat something. Stop making yourself sick. So there's two sides of the spectrum, and both extreme sides are dangerous. And no one should be looking at this. No one should be looking at this and thinking it's healthy. No one should be looking at this and saying, oh my God, this is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to live my life like this. No one should be doing that. No one. No matter how insecure you are, there's always a way to get help. There's always a way to improve your life. Like, please take care of yourself. It's really sad, literally waiting for headlines that she passed away at this rate. That's exactly what I said. She knows exactly what she's doing. I just don't have words anymore. I absolutely adore you, but I really want to see you get healthier. She said, y'all are going to see these ribs. Oh my God. You're dying. We get it. Not okay. So many body checks. I'm unfollowing. This is way too disturbing. Get help. Could you please stop dying? Nothing about this is okay. Someone help her. By far the scariest thing I've seen all day. Get help. Jesus fucking Christ. She doesn't even express any real emotions anymore. Compare her old posts to her new ones. Eugenia, please do something. You know, how does it just keep getting worse? Eventually someone in her family is going to help her, right? And that's just from one. Every comment I read was basically, get help. So I know she's never going to see this video, but Eugenia, please, just like Nikocado, I do not want to come online one day and see the headline, Eugenia Cooney has died at age whatever due to malnutrition and you know, body malfunction. I don't want to see that. You've been online for so fucking long. And, you know, I know people can look past the body part and see your personality, but it would be a shame for, you know, for you to pass on for a reason that could have been helped. I know sometimes it's hard, and I know sometimes if you have a mental illness, it seems like you can't do it. Maybe you feel like you don't have enough support, but you do have support. You have so many people who are trying to help you just in here. People are saying, get help. We're here for you. We're here for you. We're behind you. We support you. You know, get the help you need. You're just not listening. And I know people say, well, it's not that easy, John. I understand that. But she's gotten help once before. She's gotten help once before. She just didn't stick to the program. And she's right back at square one. So, whatever the reason was she didn't stick to the program, she needs to go back, she needs to get help again, and she needs to stick to it. She needs a full support team 24/7 with her if need be, until she gets to a healthy weight. Because once she's at a certain point, her mind will just, hey, I don't feel like shit anymore. Now you could say, oh, John, it's not that easy. It's not going to happen like that. How do you know? You know, a lot of people who say there are a lot of people who live this type of lifestyle and said, I got to a certain point, Like I said, one person reached out to me and said they were living this lifestyle. And they got to a certain point and realized they didn't want to do it anymore. So we need to get her to the point where her body says, I don't want to do this anymore. And finally starts accepting the help and finally starts getting better. If not, she's going to die young. Simple as that. It's either she gets the help or she dies young. Because at this rate, I seriously don't see her living to at least till 40. I don't see her living till 40. She's going to die young if she doesn't get the help. And then everyone else are fucking around her is going to say, oh, gee, if only there was something we could have done to help. There is something you can do to help. Sometimes you need to be aggressive. You need to be more than just fucking passive aggressive about it. You know, you need to really step in. It's just like people with suicide. You know, if they get to a point and everyone after they die is like, oh, gee, if only we'd known. It's like, you did know. This person talked about it all the fucking time. None of you did anything. You saw signs of it. You didn't do anything. So don't sit this, oh, if only we knew, if only there was something you could have done. There was something. For her, there is something. If you think she feels like, she's alone or that she doesn't have the strength to do it, give her more support. Reach out to her personally instead of, publicly. Do what you can. It just can't be a one person or couple person thing. Many people need to do this because then it kind of tells her, hey, these people care. Maybe I shouldn't be listening to the people who just say, oh, just ignore them. But like I said, what do I know? I'm just some fat dude on YouTube who doesn't know what he's talking about. Anyways, you guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.